Budget Committee scheduled for Thursday at 5 p.m. will now come to order. Madam Secretary, if we can have roll call, please.
Mr. Abshire is unable to attend. Mr. Barty?
Here.
Ms. Eason?
Here.
Mr. Landry is on his way. Mr. Stelly?
Here.
Mr. Barris?
Here.
And Chair Anderpont.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 1 on our agenda this evening is a presentation for the annual comprehensive financial report for the year ending December 31 of 2024. Ms. Fontenot.
Thank you, Chair Anderpont. As you know, the Division of Finance produces 2 documents every year for y'all. Tonight, we present to you the annual comprehensive financial report for that. Each year, it seems that this document expands and grows with all of the technical requirements that are added. And so our 2024 financial report is over 350 pages right now, and that's excluding our internal control and compliance findings. So that just goes to show what an effort it is. And we put in thousands of hours in the Division of Finance to bring our cash basis documents, which are our basis of all of our financials, into full accrual and modified accrual financial statements. So I certainly want to take the opportunity to thank you, as well as the Division of Administration that helps finance accomplish this, because without the staff, it would not be possible. And some of my staff are here today, some are still on vacation because we just finished this document. But the technical expertise of the staff is exceptional, and I do want to recognize that on there. We're doing it a little bit different this year. We thought that instead of having our auditors present it, we would present it ourselves.
Very good.
So Kyle Judice is our Assistant Director of Finance, and he has led this project from start to finish. So we kind of asked him to go ahead and provide you an overview of that financial report today.
If you can state your name for the record, please.
I'm Kyle Judice. I'm the Assistant Director for the Division of Finance for the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. I previously was the auditor before coming to work at the parish, so I've been a part of this audit for close to 20 years. Our auditors are McElroy, Quirk, and Birch here in Lake Charles. A lot, like Ms. Fontenot said, a lot of time and effort goes into this project, and it culminates in the report in front of you, which is the annual comprehensive financial report, which I'll refer to as the ACFR going forward.
Okay.
Our auditors will issue 2 reports at the end of the audit. The first one is the independent auditor's report, which they have issued an unmodified opinion. That means that you can rely on these financial statements, that they are free of any material misstatements. In addition to looking at all of our financial information, they also test compliance related to the federal awards that we received during the year. And for that, their opinion states, the parish has complied in all material respects with compliance requirements that could have a direct and material effect on each of our major federal programs. It doesn't have a nice clean word like modify, but what it says is, for the federal awards we received during the year, we met all compliance requirements that they tested. We're going to take a brief look at some trends. You'll see the green is 22, yellow is 23, and the dark blue is 24. Those are total revenues and expenditures for governmental activities. And you can see a decline or a decrease over the years, which is expected. 22 contained a lot of our disaster recovery efforts, which really drove those expenditures up and the corresponding FEMA reimbursements or the revenue to pay for those expenditures. In 23, we still had the drainage lateral project, which was approximately $37 million. And so we get to 24, and that's more comparable to what we would expect. The ending fund balance for the governmental activities was $578 million, most of which is restricted by nature for other purposes. We also, not included in the blue bar, is $28 million in bond proceeds. Those will be spent over the next 2 years on major bond capital projects. These are our business type activities, the same revenue on the left, expenditures on the right. Your business type activities are your water and sewer funds, and you can see they've increased over time. The yellow bar for the revenues is a bit of an outlier. That is increased by ARPA revenues to reimburse projects related to Waterworks 5, 3, and 8. So if you look at the blue compared to the green, you'll see a pretty large increase in both revenues and expenditures. And if you'll remember, we took over the Waterworks District 8 of 3 and 8, or the Blue Water District in 24, which is the driving factor in those increases in both revenues and expenditures. These are our federal awards over time. They're also decreasing in the way the governmental activities did for the exact same purpose. 22, we had a lot of federal awards related to disaster recovery. As those projects come to an end, it's decreasing down to the 24 numbers. 2022 federal awards were approximately $165 million, 23 awards, $87 million, and the 2022, $62 million, which is comparable to federal awards pre-disaster. In addition to looking over our financial information, MQB will also test internal control and various compliance issues, not just related to federal awards, but any type of state statute as well. So I'm happy to say the primary government has no findings, no internal control findings, no compliance findings. There were 3 findings with component units, which we also sometimes call special service districts. The first 2 are lack of segregation of duties, which is typical for an entity that size. Those will be repeat findings in the future. Those are very small offices that don't have the personnel to segregate all the duties in a way that you would like. They mitigate those risks by adopting parish policies and procedures, but the risk still remains, even though it's mitigated. There was 1 non-compliance finding for the year. That's Waterworks District number 10 of Ward 7. While they filed all their sales tax returns, they did not always file them timely. The district stated that they will be sure to timely file the returns in the future. And not included on this slide is the Certificate for Achievement in Financial Reporting, Excellence in Financial Reporting, issued by the GFOA every year. The 2023 report received the certificate. It's the 33rd year in a row that the parish has received the Certificate of Excellence. And we think the 2024 issue will also is worthy of that award as well. And like Ms. Fontenot said, a lot of time and effort goes into this report. This is a brief summary. However, a lot of hours go into it. The staff works a lot of overtime and a lot of hard work. So I want to thank the staff for all the time and effort that they put into it. And also want to thank administration for providing us the tools and the support to be able to not just produce this large document, but do it in a way that is nationally recognized for excellence. So it's a brief summary of the audit, and I'm happy to answer any questions or comments you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Giudice? It is a report. The chair would ask for a motion and a second to.
Move to receive report.
Second.
Any discussion? Any objections? That motion carries. Thank you. Good job. And we appreciate, and that's impressive. 33 years in a row? That's impressive. Keep up the good work.
You know, I wish we were, but I think he did an absolutely wonderful presentation, and I'm glad we switched to an
He's
internal.
plenty. That was
And
perfect.
the 33 years certainly predates all of us, so kudos to the ones that came before us.
Thanks again. Good work. Item 2, receive request for grant funding from the Gaming Fund. Item 2A, Ward 6, $50,000, Ward 6 Fire Protection District Number 1, for costs associated with the purchase of new 700, 800 megahertz portable radios. Need a motion to, we need a motion and a second first before we get to a question. Is someone looking to?
So move.
I have a motion here by Ms. Eason and a second by Mr. Barty. Yes.
Those
Mr.
funds
Stelling.
are coming out of each individual ward, is that correct? Not,
Mr. Stelly, 2A is coming out of Ward 6, yes, sir. And then the B and C are coming out of your Economic Development Parish-wide Needs Funds.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
very good. Anyone else? And we do have a motion and a second before us. Any objections? That motion carries. We'll move to item 2B, Economic Development, $25,000, Community Center and Playground District Number 2 of Ward 4, for costs associated with the Louisiana High School Athletic Association 2025 State Baseball Championships. We have a motion by Mr. Barty and a second by Ms. Eason. Any discussion? Any objections? That motion carries. We'll move to 2C, Economic Development, $20,000, Community Center and Playground District Number 2 of Ward 4, for costs associated with the Louisiana High School Athletic Association 2025 State Softball Championships. Have a motion by Mr. Barty and a second by
So moved.
Mr. Barris. Any discussion on that item? Seeing none. Any objections? That motion carries. We'll move to item 3, which is amending the fiscal year 2025 budget for those funds that deviate from the estimated budgeted revenues, expenditures, and/or fund balances.
So moved.
I have a motion by Mr. Barty and a second by Ms. Eason. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, any objections? That motion carries. We'll move to item 4. Is there any other matters that need to come before this committee?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn, a second by Ms. Eason. All in favor?
Aye.